A lot of people ask me to talk about manipulation, gaslighting, and the negativity of a relationship and how people can kind of push you to feel like you're not good enough. And I avoid this topic because it's typically just dark psychology. But in today's episode, I'm going to talk about manipulation tactics and making someone feel like they're not good enough. What is up, guys? Sumi here with Thoughtcast, and today I'm going to talk about dark psychology. This is probably going to be cut up and taken out of context and thrown on the internet, but I'm going to talk about it because I need you to learn how to avoid these things, and I feel like by talking about this stuff, it may teach you how to step out of a toxic relationship or to kind of see the red flags of one beginning to happen. I don't want you to use this stuff. I don't recommend it, but by putting it out there, there's probably someone that will do it, so that just comes with it. That's, part of it. But I'll try to be as detailed as I can be about this because I hope this helps people. The first thing that you have to understand, and the first manipulation tactic I'm going to talk about, is really just making someone feel like they're not good enough. That's a very powerful technique that a lot of people do in a relationship. It makes that person see the manipulator as more valuable than them. And that creates an emotional attachment because people want to be with people that are better than them. So the first thing you have to understand is when they first meet you, they're going to really agree with a lot of things that you say. They're going to build the emotional attachment, and they're going to love bomb you. This is typically the first tactic. Love bombing is done in a way where they're constantly creating pressure for you to love them back. They're saying crazy things like, "You're the one for me. I'm so glad I met you. You've changed my life." And these things make you feel good, but they're not necessarily the actual reality of what it is. Words of affirmation are slightly different. Words of affirmation are verifying and validating behavior that has actually occurred and making you feel like you did a good job when you did do a good job. So words of affirmation are affirming things that are actually true. Manipulation and love bombing is creating this idea that you are special. It's pushing you to feel more attached in the relationship on things that actually haven't happened. And it's creating this idea, and it's burying a subliminal thought into you that you are actually better than you are. And so when you're with this person, they gas you up, they light you up, they make you feel 100 times better. And this feels better, but you shouldn't be drawing your complete happiness, your verification, and your validation from some individual that you don't necessarily know so well. So they'll say crazy things to you to get you attached. Here's where the manipulation kind of starts, the devaluing. First and foremost, what they're going to do is they're going to start to doubt the things that you say. So you might come to them and you might say something like, "Hey, I have this problem," or this and that, and they're going to belittle you. "Yeah, you're kind of crazy for thinking like that." And you might be like, "Why?" "Well, I don't know. I don't really see it as big of a problem. I think it's kind of crazy." And one thing they'll do, this is important, right? I'm getting very specific here. They'll almost look at you and try to rationalize what you're saying. Like, I don't know. It seems like you're kind of reaching a bit there. I'm not sure. I don't want to say that you are, but it seems like you are. See, it's that kind of conversation. It's that kind of tonality. It's that kind of stuff that slowly builds up. And what they do is they basically reject you for every single thing that you say. When you have a problem, they'll reject you and say that you're being crazy. They say that you're being delusional. They say that you're not really making sense. Even when it comes to infidelity, right? See, like, let's say you're calling somebody out for doing something that may seem like they're cheating, like they're going out and they're taking pictures with someone and they're staying over and they're not calling you or texting you, and they come back the next day. Like, you might very well be like, "Hey, what happened last night?" Like, they might call you and be like, whoa, relax. Why are you being so hostile? Why are you being so crazy? Like, whoa, you're being wild. They kind of cause you to catch your own emotional state, even when your emotional state is valid, and they kind of make you seem like you're this outcast because they know how to make you feel unwanted and neglected by making you isolated in the emotional experience. When you're coming at someone very hot and they react aggressive back, it actually validates those emotions in a certain way because you feel like they get defensive. But when someone is not being defensive, but they're being very calm about it and they're lulling back and they're like, "Well, you're being nuts. You're being crazy." I mean, I'm trying to see where you're coming from, but it seems like you're just out of whack. Did something happen today? That's the next part. When they say this kind of stuff, they're showing you that you're being a little bit out of the whack, and they're actually reinforcing the idea that what they did is very normal. And then they get into the idea of kind of blaming it on something else. "Are you okay? Like, did something happen at work today? Did your mom say something to you? Like, did you take your medicine today?" Oh my God, that's a good one. They get you to kind of second guess on who you are by insulting you, by making you embarrassed, by making you feel vulnerable, by making you feel like you're crazy, like you're actually nuts. Like, did something happen where you're blaming it onto me? They make you feel like you're projecting your negativity. That's an important thing of manipulation right there. And it's a very expert level manipulation tactic where it's like, "Hey, did something bad happen at work today? I'm here to talk about it if you want to. Like, I'm available for you. They make it seem like they're your friend. That's the next part. They make it seem like they're your friend, and they're there to kind of console you on like, whoa, like, if you want to talk about it, you can, but you don't gotta hope everything's okay. Like, let's talk about what happened at work. They're shifting the conversation, and they're making it seem like they're your friend. This is just one thing, too. There's a million things I could talk about dark psychology and manipulation. And, the reason I know this stuff is because I deal with people that have gone through this, and I have to kind of unwire and kind of pull apart the manipulation and kind of break it down step by step, showing them this is where it happened. This is where the manipulation happened. This is how you kind of got caught up. And this is what they're doing every single argument to get you to break down and feel like you're not good enough. That way, when you walk away and you were angry about something that you genuinely should have been angry about, you are now walking away calmed down, controlled, whipped like a dog, and you have absolutely no idea what just happened, and you still feel that anxiety, you still feel that pain, and they continue to do those habits, and you've reinforced that behavior because they have won this argument. They have won the conversation, they have won the interaction, and they have proved to you that you're being nuts, and you're always crazy, and you're never good enough. They got you. So you've got to understand the first step is love bombing and creating that emotional attachment, because without the emotional attachment, without the actual real connection, this doesn't work. Okay, manipulation does not work if you're just going up to people in the streets and you're trying to get them to do things. Like, it can work to some degree, but not really heavily. What has to happen is that you have to have the emotional attachment, then you devalue them. You devalue their opinion, and you start to break them down. And when they come at you aggressive or crazy because with anything, what the manipulator does is they break that stuff down. They say, whoa, you're being a little hot about this. Is everything okay? What's causing you to stress out? And they make you feel like you're not good enough, and you make you feel like you have a problem. Some of you very well might be overreacting. Let me just throw this in there. Some people may really just have the best interest for you. There's many times that people come to me about something that's crazy, and I'm like, whoa, you don't have to react like this. This is not that important. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Life is great. Don't worry. But when the personal attacks come in where it's like, is everything okay? Did you take your meds today? Did you forget to do something? Like, did your boss yell at you again? That's probably why you're mad. And they start to blame you, and then they become a friend where they change the topic and they try to console you on that. They have completely won the argument and flipped the 180. So I hope this makes sense. I'm not sure if you guys find value in this type of content. A lot of people reach out to me about this stuff, but I'm very, very reluctant to bring this stuff out because it's just manipulated by nature. So hope this was valuable for you. If you ever have any questions or you feel like you're in a situation like this, definitely DM me. You can always connect with me in the resources down below. Big shout out to Candy for sponsoring this podcast and bringing you this material. If it wasn't for them allowing us to use this beautiful penthouse space, we won't be able to bring you this amazing content. If you're ever in the Cleveland area, hit them up. They will find you an apartment of your dreams. And guys, thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me that you would take some time out of your day to spend with me and to listen to me while I talk about this stuff. So until next time, Sumi out.